Hey VC, any YouTubers watching this? This is a video that I've wanted to do for a while. It's a new kind of series I'm going to be doing whenever I get the chance. I'm going to start reviewing albums, and not the usual albums you see, just stuff that have kind of been overlooked and stuff I like to show the public, just the skin and bones and what basically the album's all about, and the band and everything. Just stuff that, like, I'm not going to be doing any Led Zeppelin reviews, Sabbath reviews. You guys all know what that is. Everyone already knows that stuff. Now, I'm going to be shedding some light on some bands that probably not too many people have heard of. So, the first review is a band called Budgie, and it's their self-titled debut, Budgie. Now, Budgie, the album, is a single sleeve album, no gatefold, beautiful artwork on this album. And basically, who Budgie is, they're a Welsh band that formed in the late 60s by bassist Burke Shelley, bassist and vocalist, I should say, Burke Shelley, guitarist Tony Burge, and drummer Ray Phillips. And in a nutshell, Budgie is basically Led Zeppelin, Rush, and Black Sabbath combined into one amoeba type thing, and very talented. I mean, I haven't really met anyone that has ever heard of them besides people here on the VC, and they deserve just anything that these bigger bands such as Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin and people like that, they deserve the fame and fortune that they get. But I don't know, they just never caught on. I don't know. But anyway, Budgie. It's a very, very hard rock riffage kind of album. The album starts out with the song Guts, which a sample of that you heard in the beginning of the video, and it's basically just fat riffage all the way, and it's got some catchy chorus, and that's basically about it. But it's so addictive. Every track on this is just so addictive to listen to. The next song is a real calm song. Budgie is quite known for going from a really hard, heavy song to really short acoustic song, and Everything in My Heart would be the second track, which is the soft acoustic-y. It's only about a minute long. It's basically just one line. Burke basically just sings one line, and basically that's all it is, but it's still catchy. I find myself singing it whenever I am just walking around. Even at work, I'll find myself singing it. But anyway, next track is The Author. The Author starts out with a slower, kind of quiety thing that starts basically like this.
Happiness is what you want. All I get is pain.
And then it continues and kind of manageably builds up, but then it just hits heavy with riffage, and throughout the rest of the song it's riffage. It goes from that to this kind of this is what it is. And then it goes to the verse and singing, and Berg sings over that riff and guitar solo, and it just keeps progressing. There's not really too much repetition in this song. It's very, very complex in the pattern of the song. It's not your typical pop verse chorus, and I really think that's great quality to have when you're in a hard rock band like this. The next song, possibly, it is the longest song on the album. New Disintegrating Parachutist Woman. It's really a mouthful, but once you hear it once, it's already up in here. And it's basically Tony Burge playing a riff, and it's got this kind of, here it is right here. And then, after that, he's singing, he's kind of screeching over it. Not really much melody to it, it's just kind of one word at a time. And it's basically a blues, kind of bluesy progression. And after that, it goes into a solo and then stops. And basically, from there, it just goes into this long, long solo section that really shows the skill of the guitarist Tony Burge. I mean, yeah, Tony Burge. And then after, there's this kind of part where the guitar and vocalist Burke are kind of coinciding with each other, and it's basically going down the scale kind of. And after that, the guitar joins in with the bass, and there's this really kind of complex feeling and playing that goes along, that goes back into the main riff and verses, basically. And that's this right here. That, I think, is completely the coolest thing right there, how it just slows down, goes right back into that riff with the drums. I have to play the air drums every time I hear that part. Next song is called Crash Course. The actual name of that song is Crash Course for Brain Surgery, and this is a US pressing. The UK pressing does not have that song on it. It was issued as a single in the UK. And the B-side of that single was New Disintegrating Parachutist Woman single edit. And it's basically another just straightforward rock song, heavy metal, really early metal. And actually Metallica actually re-recorded the song, and on one of their, I think, EPs. I'm not sure if it's on the EP, Garage Days EP, or I know it's on Garage Inc. or whatever that album's called. Not the biggest Metallica fan, sorry. After that song, the short little 2.5-minute song, the record ends and it's time to flip it over. And it begins with 2 notes that go right into a solo by Tony Burge. There's Tony Burge right there. Bert Shelley, Ray Phillips. And it's basically him just shredding, and then he goes into this kind of rolling, kind of funky, I don't know, riffage. Sounds like this. After that, it's basically a kind of long, little, different instrumental section. It's basically a lot of what their songs do. And it's really good. It gets you kind of bouncing up and down. And after that, it goes to the verse again. We've seen this before. Next song, track 2 on side 2, All Night Patrol. This was, in Bert Shelley's words, kind of a trash track, just because he says the guitar kind of disappears once the drums and bass come in, which you can actually hear how quiet. You can't really hear the guitar because it's so quiet. But trash track or not, it's still a great song. It's the same kind of esque as the other songs, but just in a new way. I'd put it just as good as the rest of the songs on the album. Next song, You and I, Back to Everything in My Heart. Another just plain acoustic song, really quiet. And it's just as good, every song. After that short song, you have this riff. That riff comes in right after the quietness, breaks the silence, and you hear Bert singing over that, and you're just like, wow, this is a really, really great song. It's actually it's called Homicidal Suicidal. Or, yeah, Homicidal Suicidal. And it's really great. There's nothing else to say. Same esque as the other songs on the album. It's basically about a guy that's drunk, crashes drunk driving, and kills a cop. That's basically the whole song. There's not really storyline on it. Just basically stating that. Takes 6 minutes and 30 seconds to state that, but it's the best way to state it. So there's the album, and that's the closing track. Soundgarden actually covered that track in the Bad Motorfinger era, I believe. Could be wrong, but basically that's the album, the single disc. And another thing I found very funny about this album is it's on an old person label, the Cap label. Only rock group I've seen on the Cap label. In the UK, it was issued on MCA, which is more normal, but hey, there you go. That's Budgie's Budgie in a nutshell. Thanks.
Yeah.